How many times have you tried and failed at the Hogwarts exam week tasks? They are unbelievably hard as you get up into the A and A plus section. Obviously you do need your spellbook levels to go up to beat these because you need extra health, but most of them are more strategy based rather than just brute force. So today we're going to go and defeat the Hippogriff, and I'm going to go through my main strategy I use to go and defeat that and show you guys how you can do it as well. Obviously I'll be doing guides on how to defeat the other two exams as well, so make sure you're digging that bell down below so you do not miss those videos when they come out. But let's go and have a look at the deck that I've been using. So this right here is the deck I've been using, and Hermione is our main Echo. Just dropping the MP of those higher costly skills makes all the difference. Getting your damage off even quicker and quicker means that you're out of this battle as fast as possible, because the longer you're in there, the more chance you have of failing. So let's go and have a look at these cards individually and why I've picked them in this deck. So first one, and one of the most important ones, is your side-along apparition. As well as healing you just a little bit, you get to move your NPCs out of the way of those pesky whirlwinds and just keep them alive for as long as possible. That is pretty much paramount in how you are going to defeat this Hippogriff as easy as possible. Apugno is next, and it is literally just here so we can cycle through our spells and get Hermione's skill procking even quicker. It does do a little bit of damage, and that's always good, but yeah, it's more just to cycle through our spells as fast as possible. Nebulous, the next one that we got, again, it is in here to just refresh and get that skill as fast as possible, and it also does do a little bit of healing, and if the Hippogriff starts to try and attack you, you can shroud yourself and then it will go back to your NPCs. The Hippogriff is pretty much immune to all control abilities, and it says this before you hop in. The only thing it is not, and I don't believe it states this, is fear, and Howler is one of the best in the game for this, so it definitely needs to be in there, but you need to know how to use it. I will show this in game, so you better wait around for that. Next card up is Swoopers. They actually deal damage and they instill fear on the Hippogriff, which is absolutely amazing, and they just fly around the battlefield just by themselves doing whatever they want, and the Hippogriff is the only one to attack, so they continually hit him and instill fear on him. It is amazing. Time Turner, it is a little bit extra damage, plus you can put it out as a bit of a scapegoat as well for the Hippogriff. If your NPCs are down, lay down a Time Turner in between you and your NPCs, heal up the NPCs while the Hippogriff attacks your Time Turner, and away you go. Then hopefully the Hippogriff goes back towards your NPCs rather than you. Now the DPS. Aguamente is one of the best in the game. Obviously the hardest thing is that you need to direct it right at the Hippogriff, so this does make it a little bit harder because you kind of want to sit in the same spot, but if you do get a good shot and you have Aguamente, this absolutely melts the opponent. So the last one, which can be switched for other DPS, is the Thunderstorm. I believe is the best by far, because you can lay it down on the field and it will just continually attack the Hippogriff because there is nothing else for it to attack. And if Hermione's skill has procced on it, it means it only costs 3 MP. This is absolutely amazing. So other cards you could use instead of this one would be Whiz Bangs or other fireworks. They do definitely work, but Thunderstorm is the best because you can lay it down and then do other things whilst it is still hitting the boss for ages. 15 bolts of lightning is huge. So over to the companions, the only one that I would really suggest you do need is Lottie, and there is a specific time to put her down, which I'll show you as soon as I get into battle. The other two can do whatever you want. Daniel's just there for a bit of healing towards the end of the video. Cassandra some damage, but you can use whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. So let's go over to the battle now. When you drop into the game, you'll see your deck down the bottom. If you don't have Sidearm Apparition in here or as your next card, pretty much go out and start again, because you need it straight off the bat to do what I'm about to do now. Walk straight into the middle of your NPCs, pull it all the way over to the right near those pumpkins, and then you land it over here well out of the way of any of those pesky whirlwinds that get spawned. They do not hit this point at all. So all we need to do while we're over here is fog ourselves up and land some lightning strikes or whatever else you need to do to weather the storm of those little Hippogriffs. Their damage is negligible, so you can pretty much stand there, put some little heals down, just weather the storm until the other Hippogriff comes back. What you do need to do though is down the bottom, make sure you have a Howler or Swoopers ready to summon as soon as that Hippogriff is ready to attack again. And he goes down and then back up, and then he'll come across every time. See how he goes down, jumps up, and then comes across? That's your signal to say it's time to drop the Swoopers or it's time to drop the Howler. So as soon as he comes back and he is sitting right here, we need to move our way over to this corner, and then once you're over here, this is when you drop Lottie down behind you, and your 2 NPCs will sit over here and fight the Hippogriff and take all of its aggro. So when you're sitting here, this is the time you've got to put your fog down. This other Hippogriff, who cares? Just let it go, it'll run away. Time to drop our lightning, time to drop some time turners so we've got someone sitting in between them, and just watch the NPCs. If one of them dies, make sure you revive them as quick as possible. You obviously don't have much control over them, but if they split themselves up and they're not standing next to each other, which you'll see in a second, this is the best way. When they're standing next to each other right now, it's really hard because they both die. But as you can see, we've got a revived her up. He attacks the other one, so we revive that one up, then he switches to the other side. See what I mean? All the time I'm dropping lightning, so he's getting attacked continuously while I'm healing the others. It's all about you standing as far away as possible and just getting heals off whilst damage is happening. See, Aguamante, it's probably not that useful because you want to be doing or ready to revive consistently. As you can see, lightning was the biggest factor of the day here. It absolutely melted the Hippogriff consistently. So there you have it. That's how you beat the Hippogriff. Obviously, I had pretty much a perfect run just then. It took me about 5 to 10 goes of practicing it and trying to get it to work before it did. It's really hard to get the NPCs to sit over there and not die at the same time. If they die at the same time, you're pretty much ended because the Hippogriff will come to you. You need them to somehow split up like mine did. Just luckily it happened. And once that happens, then you can continue. You can revive one and the other, whilst the Hippogriff is still getting attacked by those pesky swoopers or the thunder that you put down. So that's the strategy to beat the Hippogriff. Obviously my spellbook level was very high, but did you see my health? It hardly was down at all. It didn't matter. The health is the main thing the spellbook helps with. Obviously a bit of damage, but if you do the strategy right, you should not get hit at all. So get out there, implement the strategy, and let me know down the bottom when you beat that Hippogriff.